What's up YouTube, Gemini Johnny back again with another compilation of creepy footage from around the internet. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss every time I drop one of these every Tuesday and Thursday. This video will be dropping on Thanksgiving, so hopefully you're not all in a turkey coma. If you're in America and you celebrate and can forget about the greater implications of the true history of the holiday, I'm just kidding. Enjoy your pie. I'm probably eating some right now too. Merch shop is live, so go check that out. Tight. Starting next week, I will not be posting twice a week because I'll be posting every day for the 25 days of creepy. You guys like TikToktober so much, I'm going to do it for the holidays too. Then we're going to count down to the ultimate enter your holiday here marathon. I don't really care what holiday you celebrate. Let's have a good one and watch some creepy stuff together. Alright, without further ado, let's jump right in. Alright. Let's go TikTok, don't disappoint me today.
Have y'all heard the story of the little girl that would pray to Lucifer? This story takes place in Tijuana back in 2005. So this little girl would pray to Lucifer every night. She would ask for her mother, her father, everybody in her family. And then she would say also for Lucifer because nobody prays for him. And obviously the mother one day overheard her and she thought it was weird. And she asked her what that was about. And the little girl would just evade the question, wouldn't even talk about it. But one day, mysteriously, the little girl died. And at her funeral, this guy, dressed, very humble, came and paid for everything. The funeral, all the expenses. And he just signed with an L. That was it. So the mother confronts this man and says, why are you doing this? And he says, because she was the only one that prayed for me.
No, thank you.
Scary stalkers caught on camera. This scared man was recording a video with his phone saying that someone was following him.
I'm pretty sure I'm being followed. I've been taking a rather circuitous route. See that woman back there? I've been taking a rather circuitous route around. And she got interested in what I was up to.
This woman was returning home when suddenly...
He was obviously just trying to return her wallet. Racists.
This woman was peacefully walking around with her son, but then...
Nah, yeah, those were creepy. Yeah, it was obviously joking. That was terrifying. Dudes are creepy. They need to stop being creepy. I don't know why we're in this society where dudes think it's okay to just start following a woman. What is wrong with you? Don't do that. Hey, if you think that that's a thing that you want to do, or you think that that's a good way to pick up chicks, you're wrong. DM me, we'll talk about it. We'll figure out some better methods, I promise. But don't ever do that crap. That's so creepy. I was followed home once by a very obviously unstable person in Hollywood when I first moved to Los Angeles. And he came into my building and it was horrifying. He disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. Yeah, it's a truly terrifying feeling. You feel helpless in your own home, and it's supposed to be your place of comfort. It's like your sanctuary. Don't do that.
Pictures with creepy backstories. Hotel manager pouring acid into pool because he only wanted white people to use it.
Is that real?
Seconds after this photo was taken, both boys were struck by lightning. This was the last photo taken of a volcanologist, who moments later was killed by a volcanic eruption. The night this photo was taken of a mum and two sons. The son on the left paid to friends to kill her, and his brother.
Jeez. I hate these ones that give zero details, so you can't look into it more. If you know what any of those cases were, let me know in the comments so I can go look into those a little more. I really can't stand when people put zero actual information on these videos. How's that help anybody? Whoa! Boy, he quick. Him quick. Move over here, I move over here. What's the play? Like, those look fun. I want to do whatever that is. Oh, he gone.
Let's take a look at this photo. This was pulled from the evidence archives of the Michigan State Homicide Unit. It is the only known photo we have of who was known as the Skinner. So in the early 70s, in a rural part of Michigan, something very strange was going on. It started out as just a very high number of women who were going missing in this county, but it would soon turn very dark. It was like for every one of these women that went missing, there was always an article of clothing found, as well as a severed foot. So after all of these months of investigating and questioning people, they eventually stumble upon this abandoned home in the county, and they would obtain a warrant to search it. Inside were all of the bodies of the women, every single one of them, and they had all been skinned alive. This place was littered with all of these Polaroids that this man had taken of everything he had done to these women, but he only took one photo of himself. This picture, as he's never been caught, and this is all we know of the Skinner.
That one sounded a little far-fetched. How do they know that all the women were skinned alive? And don't you think they would have probably caught that dude? That would have been a nationwide manhunt. It was psycho. But also, I've looked into a few of that person's videos before, and some of them are just completely made up stories. A lot of his stuff is just like horror content more than it is like creepy, true content, I guess. I don't know. It is creepy content, but I think a lot of it is like creepy pastas and fake stories and stuff. I like Slender Man type of stuff. Not to slander him, he does a great job. He's a great content creator. His stuff's really fun. But yeah, take it all with a grain of salt, you know?
Disturbing things caught at Disney parks. During the Carnival of Stars parade at Disneyland Hong Kong, the character Shelley May stops dancing with the other characters in the parade. She starts drooping over like she's going to fall, but no one seems to notice. When she finally does fall, a character attendant calls over other attendants and they carry her away from the parade. The video is actually very concerning, because none of the character attendants removed the character's mask to see if she was okay. During a Disneyland parade, Disney fans were surprised to see Maleficent's float on fire. At first, it's hard to tell if it's part of the show or not. The float is in the shape of a large dragon. The top of the dragon's head was completely on fire, but it actually looked really cool and like it could be part of the show. When burning pieces of the float started falling to the ground, the parade watchers realized that the fire was not a part of the show. A park attendant tries to put out the flames using a small fire extinguisher, but it doesn't do anything to minimize the flames. Finally, they get a large fire extinguisher and are able to put out the fire.
Jeez, that's crazy. Imagine being at Disneyland that day. If only somebody would have been prepared, they could have proposed in front of the burning Maleficent float at Disneyland. The one day it was actually on fire. Missed your shot, boys. And, you know, whoever. If you were planning on proposing, you missed your shot. Sorry.
Dirty facts about history that school probably didn't teach you. Part 13. In the 1930s, there was a trend among colleges in the US where students would attempt to swallow as many live goldfish as possible. Eventually, they created the International Goldfish Gulping Association, in which the all-time champion Joe DiLiberto set a record of sucking down 89 goldfish.
Somebody send that to the Y-Files guy.
For nearly 1,000 years, many women in China intentionally mangled their feet from a young age as they believed that small feet were beautiful. A common hairstyle in 17th century Europe was the Polish plait, a gross, smelly mass of crusty, matted hair cemented together by pus, nits, and dirt. The hairstyle was believed to have healing properties and could supposedly protect people from illnesses. During the Iron Age in Ireland, a new king would be crowned in a ceremony in which he penetrated a horse in front of an audience. The horse would then be eaten for dinner by everyone who just witnessed them doing the dirty.
What? No, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know if I can even put that on YouTube. I'm gonna try. That's horrifying. That is disgusting. What is wrong? Oh my god. There's so many like messed up things that humans did in the past. You hear these stories every once in a while, and it's just like, what was wrong? Who was the first person to be like, I am the king, and I must... bring me that horse. You know, like, what? And you all must eat it. Dude, get out of here. I would have been like, this is our king? This is your king?
Disturbing facts that will ruin your life. Coconuts kill more people than sharks every year. Same with cows. Vending machines are actually twice as likely to kill you than a shark is. France was still executing people via guillotine when the first Star Wars film came out. There are more fake flamingos in the world than real ones. There are more tigers in Texas than the rest of the world. There's enough iron in your body to make a 3-inch nail. Beethoven and George Washington were alive at the same time. In fact, George Washington was in his 40s when Beethoven was born. There are more stars in space than there are grains of sand on every beach on Earth. It rains diamonds on Saturn and Jupiter. A buttload is an actual unit of measurement, equivalent to 126 gallons. Hit the plus sign if you want to learn more facts.
I'm gonna start using that buttload fact every time I hear that. 126 gallons? You want 126 gallons? You want a buttload of gas? You want 126 gallons of gas? Google it. Oh, the iron in your body? That's tight. I don't want to extract it and see. I don't know. It'd be an expensive ass nail. Human extracted iron nail? Probably out there. It's gross.
Have you done the expression list? Yes, I have done the expression list, but it's one of the first videos that I ever posted on my TikTok back in like January or February of 2021, so I'll do it again. The Expression List is a creepypasta story that takes place in June 1972. It was just a regular night at Cedars-Sinai Hospital when a woman walked into the emergency entrance wearing a white gown that was completely drenched in red liquid. This typically wouldn't be too uncommon in an emergency room, but what stood out about this woman was that her face almost looked like a mannequin. It almost looked like she was made of wax. She didn't have any eyebrows and her face was smeared with makeup. To make matters even weirder, this woman had a kitten in her mouth. She pulled the kitten out of her mouth and collapsed to the ground and then was taken and rushed into a hospital room. And that's when things got weirder and even more sinister. Check out part 2.
Knew that was coming. Knew the part 2 was coming.
Part 2 of the Expression List. This story reminds me of when I was in high school and I used to go into class and I used to tell people in my classes this story, and people started asking me in high school to keep telling them scary stories in class because I would always whip out this story and tell it and everyone loved it. So they take the woman into a hospital room and the nurses begin to administer an IV. The nurses were having kind of a hard time doing this because none of them wanted to look at the woman's face.
Yeah.
Just as soon as the doctor was about to inject the woman to sedate her, she started fighting back. The nurses tried holding her down, but she was stronger than all of them, and she rose from the bed. That's when the doctor looked at her and said, "What are you?" The woman then looked at the doctor and smiled, revealing that she didn't have human teeth. She had rows and rows of extremely sharp teeth, like shark's teeth. So sharp that it looked almost impossible for the teeth to fit inside her mouth.
Well, how did the kitten not get shredded up in her mouth? I know it's a creepypasta. You can't try to find too much logic and try to poke all the holes in it. But I'm gonna probably leave that in because we actually got a part 2. That's the first time I've ever seen. Maybe not ever. That's actually not true. I think I've seen part 2s every once in a while. But it is exciting when you find one.
The Expression List, part 3, final part. So this Expression List.
We got all 3 parts? Are you kidding? We have a complete story for once. Wow. Alright. Tight.
So this expressionless woman opened her mouth and smiled at the doctor, revealing rows and rows of extremely sharp teeth, kind of like Huggy Wuggy. The doctor hears somebody coming in the hallway and he turns his back to the woman for a split second. That's when the woman sinks her razor-sharp teeth into his neck. The authorities arrive and try to detain the woman, but she overpowers them and massacres each and every one of them. The woman escapes the hospital, never to be seen again. There's only one nurse that survived the attack, and she's named the woman the Expressionless because of the waxy mannequin look to her face.
Right.
Since that time in June of 1972, there's never been another sighting reported of the expressionless woman. So tell me, what would you guys do if you saw a woman who looked like a mannequin?
Yeah, she's never been seen again because she went and got a job at every department store in the country. Come on. Ah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a creepy story, but I don't know. It's especially, like, I probably would have known the story was not true, even if she didn't say it was a creepypasta. But something about knowing it's a creepypasta just makes it, like, not even close to scary for me. At least when you find out afterwards, like, you get the fun of thinking it's a true story for a second, and then at the end they're like, oh, this is a creepypasta from whatever, Reddit probably, because that's where they all come from. But at least then you get to, like, experience the thrill of the... So if you're gonna do creepypasta content, save that it's a creepypasta until the very end, so we can at least be scared and enjoy the story first. in thinking that it's true or could possibly happen. And then drop the creepypasta on us at the end. So we'll be like, thank God. So glad that story about a mannequin with razor sharp shark teeth is sinking its teeth into the doctor's neck isn't true. Just my thoughts. But yeah, shout out Desert Queen for actually doing a full story and not leaving it on a cliffhanger for part 2 until she reaches 18 billion followers or whatever.
These are scary cartoon shoots that would terrify you, part 13. Okay, so everybody knows Finding Nemo is about a father looking for his son. But actually, that is not true. Nemo in Latin actually means nobody. So the name of the movie is actually Finding Nobody. Which means in reality, Nemo isn't real and was just made up in his dad Marlin's mind. He did this to cope with the loss of his wife and his almost children. And all the characters Marlin meets throughout the movie actually help him become less paranoid. The sharks taught him that threats aren't always life-ending forces of nature, so worrying about the little things is no way to live life. The turtles taught him that he cannot be in control of everything that's going on in his life, and that life is going to throw you curveballs, and you just have to react in the moment. Finally, Dory teaches him to enjoy every moment like it's your last, and to stop worrying about everything.
Interesting theory. I don't know if it's a conspiracy, but interesting theory on that movie. I could see it. Yeah, I could see that they had some, they were writing it as this story, but it was an allegory for this other thing that they deal with. And, it's actually a really deep, traumatic thing that people have to deal with. I feel like Disney and animation in general has done a lot of that, like subliminal messaging over the years. And so, yeah, why couldn't they do a story that was an allegory for something completely differently? It's like The Lion King is literally just Hamlet by Shakespeare. It's just lions. And supposedly you can see, I think it's letters in the sky that spell out sex or something. If you want a deep dive, go just search Disney conspiracy theory. Good luck. I don't even know what's bad about this, and I'm already saying nope. Oh my God.
So the ride looks real fun, right up until the point that you realize that that cable should be attached to that hook.
I don't know if that dude really knew what he was talking about. Maybe he's a ride technician or something. But I feel like if you knew that, why wouldn't you go tell the operator, like, hey, you probably shut this thing down. Go until that hook can get attached. Also, the leg is moving from the wooden block you have it sitting on. But I guess they have to put it on like a wooden block probably, because it's gonna move. It's a giant rotating metal thing, and physics, so it's gonna move. So it's not like they could just put it straight on the concrete, because then you'd mess up the concrete really badly, because that thing's got to weigh. I don't even want to put a guess on it, because it's gonna sound dumb, because I have no idea. It weighs a lot, enough to mess up the concrete. So they probably gotta put it on wooden blocks, but I don't know. From an uneducated standpoint, that seems stupid. Seems like they should have a better way to do that.
Zombie sheep.
This looks familiar. I don't remember saying zombie sheep though. What is it? Oh. A flock of sheep in Inner Mongolia have been walking in a circle for 12 days straight without stopping, and no one knows why. The owner of the sheep, Ms. Mayo, was left dumbfounded by her flock's pattern. Ms. Mayo said it started with just a few sheep before other members of the flock joined in. In the footage filmed from CCTV, hundreds of sheep can be seen following one another around in a circle. And it's still unknown as to why. I mean, isn't that kind of the nature of sheep? Is that they're gonna follow what the other sheep are doing? Probably just one sheep was like, I've been sitting in this freaking pen all day. I've been here for 6 months. Larry said he's been here for 2 years. I'm gonna walk in a circle. Y'all don't have to join me, but I'm gonna walk in a circle. I'm bored, I'm tired of it, I'm walking in a circle. Shut up, Larry. Poor Larry. And then everybody else just joined in, because that's what sheep do, right? I don't know. It's weird. I'll give it that. I feel like, so when the sheep start walking in a pentagram and sacrificing each other, let me know.
How do we explain this footage? This really may not seem like much of anything at face value, but the picture is actually a lot more chilling than you might think. It was captured by Eunice Lopez in 2014 near Macon, Georgia. So she would always pass this abandoned home on some of the back roads that she would walk on her way back home from babysitting. It's just a lot safer, there were less cars, it was quiet, it was just fine, but she would always encounter this abandoned home. People in this town knew for a fact that Nobody had lived in this house for at least 19 years, so who was this? Maybe this could have been a squatter, this could have been somebody who had just taken up residence in the home illegally. But what's not explained is how an abandoned home of almost 20 years suddenly had a power source to illuminate an entire room,
Right.
and this unknown silhouette of a person just watching out the window.
Yeah, that's creepy. But again, take that guy's stories with a grain of salt. I think he's one of those guys that has to say for entertainment purposes only a lot, which, to be fair, so are my videos. So, I'm knocking the guy. I think he's great. He's a good storyteller, and he picks good stories. So, it's creepy if you're into that.
These are actors that were never the same after a role, part 2. Up first is Sarah Paulson, and she got addicted to smoking cigarettes after filming American Crime Story, The People vs. O.J. Simpson. She was never a chain smoker in real life, but when it came to playing the role as famous attorney Marcia Clark, Paulson went all in. She began chain smoking on set and even said herself she became addicted to cigarettes. Next up, Shelley Duvall was damaged from the filming of The Shining. The scene where she was swinging the bat on the staircase at her husband almost ruined her, and there was lasting effects from it. This scene felt so real to Shelley that she was genuinely upset from it and wasn't acting in this scene at all. And what makes this worse is that she was a perfectionist, and they filmed this scene hundreds of times.
Oof.
This affected her brain traumatically and took her years to recover from.
Jeez. Yeah, I feel like people don't talk enough about like the mental toll it takes on actors to play those really dark or really disturbing roles. Like, you have to take yourself to a really dark place to get into that kind of mindset, particularly like the serial killers and stuff. Just getting into that mindset seems like it would take a heavy toll on you. Or maybe not. I mean, I'm sure there's some actors that in and out of it like it's nothing.
Did this USS Eldridge teleport over the sea? In 1943, the U.S. Navy conducted a secret experiment in the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard aimed at making the USS Eldridge invisible to radar. According to the legend, the experiment was a success, but it had a number of unintended side effects, including teleportation and time travel. Many people claim to have witnessed the experiment, and some even say that they were on board the USS Eldridge during the test. They describe the ship disappearing and reappearing in different locations, as well as crew members being fused into the metal of the ship. The U.S. Navy has denied any involvement in such an experiment, and the technology necessary to make a ship invisible to radar did not exist in 1943.
That's what they want you to think. If one nation figured out how to teleport things, like the military figured it out, do you think they're just going to come out and say, yep, we figured this out? No, they're going to hold on to that and use it to their advantage for as long as they can until everyone knows about it. It's the element of surprise. They're not just going to come out and say, yeah, we did an experiment on a giant ship and fused half of our sailors into the ship. And no, I'm not going to do that. Come on. Just a dumb guy on the internet.
However, there was a real-life experiment in 1943 known as Project Rainbow that was carried out at the Philadelphia Naval Yard. The project was aimed at developing radar-absorbing materials in order to reduce the visibility of ships to enemy radar during World War II. So,
scary moments caught on live TV. On the 20th of August 1987, a man walked onto the set of KNBC News with a fake gun and forced the news anchor to read a message about CIA conspiracy theories and aliens on live TV.
Pardon me? What is this? Let me see what it says. Folks, we have someone on the set who's standing here and would like me to read this copy which was just handed to me.
Okay. My question becomes, what was the rest of it? What did he say? Or what did he make the anchor say? Because now, whatever, 30, 40 years later, was he right? Maybe he was, not defending the guy that walked into the news set with a gun, alright? Even if it was a fake gun. But maybe he had a point. I don't know. I don't know if I can find that. Hold on, let's see. Alright, so let's watch the rest of it.
Let me see what it says. All right. All right, well, let me read this. Folks, we have someone on the set who's standing here and would like me to read this copy which was just handed to me. You want to tell me your name or not? What is it? And Gary, where are you from?
David, very cool there. At that point, news producer Nancy Valenta ordered us off the air, but we all pretended that we were still broadcasting. for the entire rambling, incoherent statement, and this is how it ended. Off the air, viewers did not see this.
Involved. There is no way I can harm anyone with this empty BB gun.
That recording exists somewhere. I promise you that has to exist. Because they might have stopped air. They might have went off the air, but they didn't stop recording.
Newscast.
You know, it was like the Twilight Zone. I didn't know what was going to happen, and I didn't realize. I said to myself, this is not really happening to me.
Stolman's statement was a bizarre...
Oh, here we go. The man who has appeared on KNBC for the last 3 years is not my biological father. He is a clone, a double created by the Central Intelligence Agency and alien forces. Alright, maybe he didn't have a point. Bro is crazy. Bro is off his rocker. Alright, no points to be had. I'm gonna read through the rest of this. It is only a small past of a greater plot to overthrow the United States government and possibly the human race itself. The CIA has something and tried to destroy my family and those of my friends. The CIA has something, I can't tell what that says. The CIA has whatever and tried to destroy my family and those of my friends. Although I have something about this known about this since 1981. I here not take something about it for fear of the lives of my family. Yeah, here's the thing. All that was true to him. He believed all that. Like that all happened in his head. I hope he got help. I'm sure he probably did some time for that, but I hope he got some help. Man, yeah, it's sad.
Gonna get some juice first. Gonna get some juice first. Get some juice, orange juice. Give me this orange juice. Can I get some popcorn? Okay.
Oh, time to go.
Hello? No way, no way, no way, no way, no way, no way. Oh, no.
In October 2016, a Florida family noticed multiple things missing from inside their home. The night before, everything was there, but when they woke up, stuff was missing. To figure out where it went, they reviewed their home security cameras. At 1:30 in the morning, this is what the cameras captured. Oh, shit. That is so horrifying. Lock your doors. A man walks around the house while 3 children are sleeping in couches feet away from him. He walks around them looking for valuables and hands what he finds to another man standing just outside, this one armed. Family immediately called police upon seeing the footage. Police opened an investigation but never found the 2 men in the video. Police believed that had anyone in the house woken up during the break-in, they likely would have been unalived.
These are the worst ways people have ever died. A 72-year-old Kentucky woman died after a Denny's sign crushed her car. She was just sitting there when suddenly the big massive sign fell onto her car, completely crushing her and killing her. Denny's is completely aware of the situation, and they have no response to why this even happened. Getting crushed to death by a Denny's sign has to be one of the weirdest ways somebody has ever died.
Man, I do love Denny's, so that would be a bittersweet way to go. Cause like, obviously I don't want to get crushed by a Denny's sign, but that Grand Slam be hitting? No. So dumb. But there you have it, folks. It's another day of creepy TikToks in the books. Don't forget to check out the merch store. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Appreciate it. I know every YouTuber says it, but it's the only way that we get to know that you like our videos, and it helps spread our videos to more people. So really the only metric we have to go off of. Tight. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to share, comment, do all that good stuff. If you're enjoying these videos, you can check out the playlist where I'm adding all of them in the description below, or you can check out the TikToktober series playlist right over here. Happy Thanksgiving, you filthy Americans, and until next time. I'm not really calling you guys filthy. I hope I don't have to explain that. And keep the change, you filthy animal. You know? Home Alone? No? Alright. Until next time, stay creepy. Peace!